My house has always been just me living alone. But lately I keep receiving transfers from an IP address registered to this residence labeled rent payment. I suspect a ghost infestation and decide to hire an exorcist. At dawn the next day, a tiny jumping spider emerges, tremblingly holding a crumpled note between its fuzzy paws. I can pay extra. Please, please don't kill me. It sniffles. Something's definitely inhabiting my home. When washing dishes, I feel unseen eyes watching. During TV time, there's rustling beside me. Before showers, I sometimes hear faint squeaks followed by scampering footsteps. Most importantly, those monthly rent transfers keep coming. This place is haunted, I mutter, collapsing onto the couch before calling my friend. Hey, I need that reliable spiritual master contact you mentioned. The next afternoon, instead of the promised exorcist, a thin voice pipes up from the coffee table. Hi, could you look at me please? A black and white striped jumping spider with 4 dewy eyes stares up, fluffy abdomen quivering. I swear it's the cutest arachnid I've ever seen, like a living cotton ball with nervous eyelashes. I'm in not a bad spirit. Its furry head droops like a scolded puppy. When I pluck the note with tweezer-like fingers, it jumps back with a squeak. Prove it then. I grin mischievously. The spider's legs scuttle anxiously. How? Though not usually cruel, I can't resist teasing this adorable creature. Show me your mating dance. A mating dance? Its 8 limbs flail comically, accidentally exposing a fuzzy underbelly. Adorable. If human, it'd be blushing head to toe. I tap the table. Not willing? I'll do it. It blurts desperately. But, could I have a rose petal if I dance? Glancing at the dying bouquet in the corner, I flick a semi-fresh petal toward it. Here. The spider carefully arranges the crimson fragment beneath its round abdomen like a miniature stage. Its performance is surprisingly elegant, fuzzy legs tapping rhythmically while a hidden fan-like organ unfurls near its waist. The delicate structure shimmers with peacock green and ruby hues, resembling cosmic stardust. After the finale, it hops down and solemnly presents the iridescent fan with its hind legs. For you. I smile sweetly while stealthily extending my freshly manicured nail and boop the tip of its inky butt. Process text with replacements and translation. I touched something hard. The little jumping spider got so scared it leapt into the air. Why you? Spider good. Human bad. The tiny jumper had performed its mating dance for this cruel woman, only to have its perky bottom sneakily poked. Perhaps thinking its dance was terrible, the spider's 8 eyes dimmed one by one. It curled into a fuzzy little ball, becoming a despondent speck of nose gunk. My conscience twinged unexpectedly. Truthfully, I'd only wanted to tease this odd creature before harshly shooing it away. Let me introduce myself, Emily Johnson. 28 years old. Terminally ill and nearing death. With my career destroyed and everyone I loved gone. Staring at this house bought with my ravaged health. The world felt utterly meaningless. In my final days, I just wanted solitude. For someone at death's door, being slightly wicked by toying with an uninvited houseguest shouldn't be too terrible, right? Especially when this creature had moved in without permission. Letting it leave after crushing its hopeful expectations already counted as merciful punishment. Haven't we all chased empty dreams before? But the little jumper didn't know this. It hopped desperately, waving 8 fuzzy legs until exhausted. It couldn't comprehend human capriciousness. Every chance was seized with full effort. Every rejection taken as personal failure. From lively cuteness to a pebble of existential crisis. I thought facing death made my heart as cold as a fishmonger's blade at RT Mart. So why did this curled-up creature suddenly make me feel guilty? Had I done something wrong? Did I do something wrong? A tiny voice echoed my thoughts. Sniffling. The jumper finally looked up. 16 eyes met. Oh no, it was crying from all 8 eyes. Creating a tiny puddle. Its abdominal fur lay matted pitifully as it huddled in the miniature pond. Legs tucked beneath. Sorry, my first mating dance, was I that bad? The heartbroken spider began shedding fur violently. Not bad. My mouth moved faster than my brain. You're good. Maybe I'm the bad one. You could stay if you want. I turned away with a twisted smile. But little jumper, this rent payment won't suffice. Perhaps tiny creatures overflow easily with small joys. The spider's eyes dried instantly. 8 moonbright gleams appearing in its monochrome fur. I'm useful. Can pay more rent. Wow. Spiders can leap that far? It jumped a full meter onto the lamp, dragging back an enormous mosquito. Catching house mosquitoes okay? I waggled a finger. Not enough. It leapt off the tall desk, returning 15 minutes later with a hairball. Plus daily floor fur cleanup? I shook my head. Not enough. The little jumping spider finally panicked, its tiny legs tapping nervously on the floor. Not enough? Still not enough? It stared at the rental income records I showed it, pitiful 300 yuan monthly transfers labeled rent compared to the standard 30,000 yuan for this prime location. The spider remained silent for a long time, its 8 eyes fixed on the glaring disparity between the numbers. So, I've been overestimating myself after all, it finally admitted defeat, packing its tiny bundle onto a cactus spine. I'm sorry for the trouble. I'll leave now. A trail of glistening tear tracks marked its path as it crawled away. Wait. I blocked its path with my finger. For the remaining balance, payment in flesh. Flesh payment? The spider froze mid-step, its fuzzy abdomen trembling. I scooped it onto my manicured nail, gently blotting its damp body with tissue. The arachnid tilted its head, compound eyes glittering with naive curiosity. Does that mean you'll eat me? Oh, how wonderful. Thank you for choosing to consume me. The sudden enthusiasm made me recall nature documentaries about mating spiders. While humans found it disturbing, some species considered being eaten the ultimate romantic gesture. The spider suddenly turned bashful, rubbing its pedipalps together. Could we make it gradual? I'm still small. If you eat me all at once. My childhood trauma from that infamous mantis wedding episode of Black Cat Detective resurfaced. Time to redirect this conversation. I booped the fuzzy abdomen I'd been eyeing. Flesh payment means poking your cute little butt. But pokes? Its disappointment was palpable. Plus mosquito hunting and cleaning my hair strands. But mostly but pokes. The spider's hind legs instinctively covered its posterior before reluctantly presenting the shiny black tip. Once daily. Deal. I couldn't resist giving an immediate test poke. Eep. Thus I accidentally acquired an adorable tenant. Each morning now, I wake to find it waiting bedside, trembling with anticipation. Good morning. But poke time? Chewy and springy. At noon, after finishing lunch, the jumping spider proudly leaped onto the table, trailing 10 flower mosquitoes on a strand of fine hair behind it. Trophies. It strutted like a little general after winning a battle. That night, as I lay lazily on the couch in pitch-black silence, a rustling sound approached. It was the jumping spider dragging the strand of hair it had worked hard to clean all day. You shed way too much hair. Aw. I'm really sorry. Watching its tiny body haul a giant hairball, I couldn't help but laugh. Hair loss is normal. After all, I'm dying anyway. Hey, little one. Come here. Where do you usually live? The jumping spider pointed toward the dark cabinet. Don't worry. I don't take up much space. And I only eat a tiny bit each day. That's not what I meant. I bent down, cupped the spider in my palm, and pulled out a secretly crafted spider cottage, made of twigs, soft tissue paper, and a transparent seashell. Inside were intact rose petals I'd collected and shimmering spider silk. If you're going to be my tenant, you deserve a proper home. You work diligently, this is your reward. Plop. A soft sound. The jumping spider fainted from joy in my hand. Thank you, how can I ever repay you? Repayment? I'd never considered that while building this cottage. Yet after its words, an improper craving flickered in me. A talking jumping spider that pays rent? That's already a miracle. So, could it bring more miracles? Compelled. I asked aloud. You're no ordinary spider. Are you? I've never met a jumping spider that can communicate. No. Its reply made my heart pound. I'm a fortune-telling spirit. A little monster training hard to bring good news. Fortune, then, my voice quivered as I finally voiced the fragile hope tangled in my chest. Can you heal illnesses? The air grew cold. The air purifier hummed faintly, suffocating the silence. A timid voice whispered, I'm sorry. It curled up like a scolded child. I can't, ha. Of course. Miracles don't just happen. My mood plummeted. What fortune spider? Misfortune still follows me. Nothing changes. The words spilled out bitterly, liar. The spider flinched as if struck, staring at me helplessly. I slowly covered my eyes. A tear dripped into my palm. Emily Johnson, what are you doing? Why would you want to hurt a little jumping spider who knows nothing? I apologized, wiping my eyes as I regained composure. The tiny spider remained motionless, its front legs clutching a perfectly round teardrop. Human tears, it lowered its head and began drinking the salty droplet with its tiny mouthparts. Bitter, came its slightly raspy voice. I cupped my hands around it protectively. Are you angry with me? No. It replied blankly, those jewel-like eyes fixed on me. Why don't I have a heart? Seeing your tears makes my chest feel so heavy. Like being wounded without knowing how to bleed. What can I do to make it right? I offered earnestly. I'll give you all my savings if you want. The spider blinked slowly. Then, kiss me. Shock coursed through me. Was I being propositioned by an arachnid? Had this become some bizarre fairy tale where the spider transforms into a prince? Or maybe some CEO's soul trapped in a spider body awaiting true love's kiss? Though truthfully, it resembled more of a fuzzy sesame seed than any romantic lead. Do you even understand what a kiss is? I challenged, baring my teeth playfully. These fangs could crush you in an instant. I'm not afraid, came the steadfast reply. My vision scales proportions like yours. To me, you're like a Transformers robot to your kind. Before I could react, my lips brushed against the soft fuzzball. A quiet moa sound escaped. No magical transformation occurred. The cheeky spider let out an embarrassed squeak before vanishing. For 3 days, Kevin's spider house remained shut with a crooked on-leave sign hanging from its miniature door. I relocated the habitat from the kitchen cabinet to my bedside. Each day, it offered only the obsidian tip of its abdomen through the doorway. The first day felt amusing. By the second, loneliness crept in. My finger traced the tiny dwelling's roof as moonlight filtered through the web-canopied entrance, wondering when my 8-legged Romeo would emerge from his self-imposed exile. On the third day, the house was eerily quiet. Lying listlessly on the sofa and staring at the dusty ceiling, I was startled by a sudden pounding at the door. Hello. Property management. Gas inspection. Another inspection already? I shuffled over in slippers only to find my ex-boyfriend from 6 months ago standing there. Emily Johnson. The uninvited guest barged in, clutching health supplements before I could react. Emily. I finally found you. Your condition. I took deep breaths, disgusted by this meticulously groomed man whose calculating eyes betrayed his feigned concern. We'd once shared a college romance strolling through tree-lined paths, talking until dawn. After graduation, I plunged into the finance field while he prepared for grad school in our rented apartment. Through relentless effort, I caught the market wave and bought our home. He'd play-acted the devoted partner then, cooing about being the cutest house husband. I'll admit I fell for his syrupy sweet talk initially. The pandemic shattered that illusion. When I spiked a fever, this coward fled, later delivering spicy noodles while wearing a gas mask. Half delirious that night, I called only to hear female gaming companions laughing in the background. After recovery, I dumped his belongings on the curb. He alternated between shock, tearful pleas, and finally that grotesque smile when confronted. "Look at yourself," he sneered. "When did you ever act like a proper woman? Bossing me around, what man could tolerate that?" The audacity, considering even his socks came from my paycheck. "Get out." I retrieved the stun gun from my drawer. He lunged drunkenly. The electric crackle dropped him mid-grab, stripping him of every item I'd bought. I blacklisted him and sold the house. The move exhausted me. Collapsing at work led to the diagnosis. When my family heard, my father raged about my brother's bride price and construction plans. My mother gently suggested, "Why not stop treatment? Better than wasting money." They cut contact, waiting for the inheritance through my aunt. Now this parasite reappeared, having sniffed out my condition. "I'll take care of you," he simpered in my doorway, eyeing the first-in-line inheritance rights. All my grinding efforts since 28 now felt like chasing moonbeams on water. "Put the knife down," he urged. My bitter laughter echoed. "Look who's unsteady now." The stun gun hummed in my palm as shadows from our past danced like dust motes in the sterile light. Emily Johnson's ex-boyfriend pressed closer. Locked in a standoff with him, I found myself being driven backward into the bedroom. The roar of blood in my ears distorted my vision, casting ominous shadows across every object. Through my peripheral vision, the faint glint of the "Do Not Disturb" placard on the bedside table caught my eye. No retreat remained. Behind me lay Kevin Ryan's little jumper spider whose condition I couldn't verify. Feigning exhaustion, I lunged with the knife when his guard dropped. "Ah, you lunatic!" My weakened body betrayed me. The blade merely grazed his forearm before clattering to the floor. A crushing blow to my skull sent me sprawling. Dizziness from both physical frailty and panic rendered me helpless beneath the hands strangling my throat. Perhaps this was death. But before dying, I couldn't endanger the little jumper. With final effort, I kicked the spider enclosure under the bed. Crack! 8 crimson eyes ignited in the darkness. What the hell? The pressure on my neck vanished as my attacker's scream curdled the air. Tap. Tap. Through swimming vision, a hulking arachnid human hybrid emerged from beneath the bed frame. I'll let her go. When consciousness returned, I lay neatly arranged in bed, clothing undisturbed. Hair fanned across the pillow. A nightmare? Rising unsteadily, I found the bloodied knife on the floor. "Kevin!" The shattered remains of the spider habitat sat empty on the nightstand. Cold sweat drenched me. "Kevin! Where are you?" Chest constricting, I stumbled through the apartment, bedroom, living room, bathroom, until a muffled whimper came from the locked kitchen. Please don't look, I'm hideous now." Relief flooded me. "You didn't abandon me." Activating voice lighting, I watched the kitchen illuminate to reveal a frozen silhouette, a colossal furry arachnid creature leaving ceramic scars with each movement of its 8-bladed legs. Something from a cheap horror flick. Yet, don't be afraid. I pressed my palm against the frosted glass door, willing warmth through the barrier. Silence. "Come out. You pay rent here, I need to check on my tenant's safety." "No," the clear youthful voice cracked with spent tears. "I'm ugly, the input isn't bad. I've already seen it. Black and white. Looking both majestic and adorable." Click. The door opened. First came a panicked finger claw. Spider suspiciously tapping at the entrance. Without hesitation, I grabbed it and pulled out, a half-human, half-spider youth. Kevin Ryan had grown enormous, standing 20 centimeters taller than me. His black and white curly hair covered flushed cheeks as he stubbornly turned away, hands shielding his eyes. From the waist up, he resembled nothing less than a delicate, lean-muscled beauty. But below, his soft abdomen merged seamlessly with a grotesque arachnid body. The collision of refinement and savagery creating eerie allure like some mythic demon god. Most eye-catching was the desperately concealed spider abdomen beneath 8 scrambling legs still conspicuously swollen despite his efforts. Oh. And that enlarged black rump tip trembling violently. Smack! I struck the quivering posterior again. So bouncy. Ah. He startled upward, the decorative fans at his waist flaring open in alarm. Truthfully, I found his spider belly magnificent. That taut curve looked perfect for lounging. The enlarged mating fans at his hips now revealed their full glory, resplendent peacock greens interwoven with pigeon blood reds. Like living brocade. Beautiful. I murmured, tracing the iridescent patterns. The velvet texture felt like caressing a gentle soul. Finally lowering his hands, Kevin turned his face toward me earnestly. Really? Absolutely. Rising on tiptoe, I wiped his tears. You're the most splendid jumping spider in existence. Kevin Ryan carried a name now. He'd chosen Kevin Ryan himself, inspired by my constant praise of his fluffiness. Post-growth, Kevin could no longer squeeze into his tiny spider hut. Though I offered the guest bedroom, he insisted on occupying my bedroom floor. We compromised with an oversized cat bed stuffed with soft fabrics and a giant plush spider, our new nest. Gradually, I abandoned my proper bed altogether. Kevin's spider abdomen proved unexpectedly bouncy and utterly addictive. His greatest sorrow after enlarging? No longer fitting into tight spaces for cleaning. My solution, a Roomba, backfired spectacularly. Kevin perceived the whirring disc as a rival, often seen threatening it with scythe-like pedipalps. The indifferent robot kept charging, its red light blinking mockingly. Thus began Kevin's existential crisis. Within days, he mastered human-style chores: laundry folding, closet organizing. Then came the miracle, a pot of aromatic tomato beef brisket rice. Kevin! I leapt onto him koala style. I think I'm falling in love with you. Really? Came the breathless reply. 8 legs trembling. Kevin Ryan's exposed skin flushed pink instantly, his entire body radiating heat as he raised his front limbs high, gripping me tightly. I love you too, his eyes sparkled with wonder. So we're mates now? I defeated the intruding male. I can do this. Oops. I messed up. Might fall for you. Though my words were casual, Kevin reacted like receiving sacred validation. Watching the spider boy's fur puff up with joy, my half-hearted disclaimer stuck in my throat. Wife, darling wife, he'd somehow mastered the art of coyness. Nuzzling against my abdomen, his abdominal fan spread wide, rear end lifted comically high. Adorable. I had to admit his charms worked. My heart tingled with warmth. Hiding my blush, I pried his head from my stomach. What happened to that man who broke in? A dangerous glint flashed in Kevin's obsidian eyes. He won't return. I'll protect you. Guard our nest. Anyone who comes, his fangs gleamed, crimson flickering in his gaze. Did you eat him? No, humans aren't food. He just won't remember. Closing his eyes, he rubbed against my palm like a contented cat. Darling, he's irrelevant. I'm so happy. The unspoken truth lingered. That man now wandered the streets mindless. A hollow shell I'd later recognize as my ex-boyfriend on news reports. Kevin currently knelt before me, abdominal fan raised in earnest display. How long do jumping spider mates typically stay together? About half a year, he mused. Relief washed over me. 6 months sounded perfect enough companionship before my final days. Sparing him prolonged grief. Our new bond emboldened Kevin, formerly grateful for every gift. He now secretly assaulted a plush spider toy in our nest. The pattern began after I absent-mindedly hugged the Halloween decoration, a fuzzy black creature with harmless button eyes. Know your place, Kevin hissed. Human hands pummeling the upturned plush. How dare compete for her favor? His dramatic grumbling suggested too many soap opera marathons. The stuffed spider's head lolled pathetically under his mock fury. I stifled laughter as I stepped out. The spider youth named Kevin Ryan, first mention, full name, was clearly startled. All his bristled fur standing on end. He turned his back to me, clutching the plushie to his chest. After smoothing its ruffled fur against his cheek, he tilted his head to look at me. I'm just tidying my nest. Kevin, subsequent mentions, short name, mumbled. His posture defensive. Green tea spider. I teased, rising on tiptoes to stroke Kevin's neck fluff. Don't you like this plushie? He watched me cautiously as he gradually relaxed. You hold it, its smile looks so smug. That challenging expression. Like some scheming villain spider. Kevin's rear claws clicked restlessly against the floor, his telltale sign of mischief brewing. Could you maybe tell it you only love me, then punch it, and lock it in the cabinet? Oh. The poor plushie was being banished to a place like a storage by this spider princess. I dutifully stored the toy away in Kevin's presence, leaving only our shared scented pillows and blankets in the spider den. But I never imagined that after this successful coup of the plushie's replacement, I wouldn't wake in my own home the next morning. Emily! Emily! Harsh hospital lights assaulted my eyes. Kevin threw himself at my bedside, his face a tear-streaked mess. MS. Johnson. Thank goodness you're awake. Your young man here's been worried sick. The nurse said with a knowing smile. Young man? That's when I noticed Kevin had fully transformed into human form. Thinking of his future 6 months from now, I began educating him about human society. We started with news programs, gradually explaining social norms, hoping he could survive independently after my eventual departure. I'd intended this to be a gradual process, but fate proved cruelly efficient. How had Kevin, still so new to humanity, managed to shapeshift completely and get me to the hospital? Are you hurt? Did I scare you? Kevin clung to me desperately, hot tears soaking my neck. It's all right, Kevin. I soothed him, recalling our previous conversation. Kevin. How long do jumping spider mates usually stay together? About half a year. His sudden wail shattered the sterile air. Half a year! Because normal spiders only live a year. I've watched you for ages. Followed you forever. Changed myself like this because I want eternity with you. A whole human lifetime. Future. Time. Concepts I'd once taken for granted now shimmered like mirages, visible yet untouchable. I've known you since long ago. Kevin began weaving a tale of a village girl and a spider. I grew up poor in the countryside, sharing a room with my brother. Under our dim lamp, insects often wandered onto the table. E.W. Spider! A disoriented jumper found itself trapped under a mooncake tin, prodded mercilessly by a boy's pencil. What are you doing? I leapt from bed, wrenching the tin away. Stop torturing it. Who cares? The boy sneered. Worthless girl. Who asked you? The little boy struggled frantically. I darkened my expression and began spinning a scary story. That's a blessing, Spider. Understand? A little demon that brings good news. You're doomed, bully it, and all your lifetime luck will disappear. Liar! I don't believe you. To free the jumping spider, I fought with my brother until his head bled and my face swelled. Fortunately, I won. He ran out crying to tattle. I quickly removed the mooncake box. Hurry! How could you be so careless? The little jumper didn't flee, but danced oddly before me. Kevin later said it was a courtship dance. Though without its mating fans displayed, it just looked like a strange gray booger. I thought it was hungry. Such a tiny creature must hunt hard, right? Smack! I killed a mosquito on my arm and tossed the blood-filled corpse before it. Scared? Here's a mosquito. Eat and leave. After that night, you changed? Yes. I grew stronger, smarter too. Stayed following you. For long? Yes. Hidden backpacks. Suitcases. So dangerous. That fragile body could shatter from any bump. I remembered its clumsy movements in the mooncake box. Then later seeing my tenant display his skills. To become like this, how many injuries endured? How many near deaths? Finally stumbling to me, only to get heartbroken. My smile must have looked awful. Had I known, wouldn't have fed you mosquitoes. With someone else. This wouldn't. Emily. Kevin gazed at me earnestly. I was just an ordinary male spider. With anyone else, this miracle wouldn't happen. Emily is my greatest fortune. The joy of loving, the happiness of being loved as a spider. I never felt these. I've got it. Kevin suddenly cheered. Wait for me. He disappeared all day. That night under moonlight, we checked out from hospital, proudly lifting his moonlit face. He asked, remember when you asked if I could heal? I'm no liar, I can heal now. Back home, he resumed laundry, cooking, TV watching with me, even learned gaming. As I weakened, he clung to me constantly. A month later, he became half spider again, human arms gone. Spider eyes on forehead. Kevin? I worried. You okay? He covered his face with furry pedipalps. Fake crying, boo-hoo. You hate me now. It took forehead kisses all night to calm him. Another month later, Kevin transformed into a bull-sized jumping spider. Kevin! How to change you back? Maybe blood. Tears, not sure. Some have strong power. Others don't. He answered absently. All right. Let's handle this step by step with proper name replacements and natural localization. Tears? No problem. I pulled out a bottle of eye drops. The liquid rained down on Kevin Ryan's fuzzy head, turning him into a drenched spider. He shook the water droplets from his cephalothorax. 8 glistening eyes staring up at me. No transformation occurred. I cradled him anxiously. Don't be scared. He remained energetic. I'm getting stronger. Another week passed. Kevin kept shrinking until he became a tiny jumping spider again. It's okay. His little sign proclaimed. Don't worry about me. Kevin. I struggled to focus. If you don't explain properly, we're through. Honesty is non-negotiable in relationships. After long hesitation, he scrawled clumsily, I love you. I knew something terrible was happening. Instead of weakening as expected, my health improved dramatically after hitting rock bottom. Meanwhile, the little spider deteriorated rapidly, losing fur. His abdominal fans molting. Kevin Ryan. I adopted my negotiation stance. What exactly are you? My calm facade barely contained panic. Whatever you're doing to hurt yourself. Stop it now, he pretended not to understand. Otherwise there are 100 ways I could end my own life. No. Don't. He finally panicked. I'm not self-harming. This is necessary. Not harming? I glared at his visibly wasting form. Maybe my expression frightened him into confessing, Emily. In spider culture, being consumed by one's mate is the ultimate happiness. Offering oneself to a beloved female is every male's greatest honor. He transformed back to that initial gray fluff ball, performing elaborate courtship dances before pressing his abdomen against my fingertip. Touch my spinnerets. My lungs drowned in tears. Kevin, are you leaving me too? Not leaving. Becoming one. His form shrank as fur molted away. This life transfer magic only works because you love me completely. He dissolved into a fragile gray husk that might crumble in a breeze. The hospital wanted me in their award ceremony, calling my recovery miraculous. Old friends reconnected. The CEO begged me to return. I gained wealth, companionship, admiration, and extra lifetime of health. But an empty spider habitat. One night, I dreamed of Kevin stealing all the brisket. waking furious only to sob over his empty enclosure. I sold the house, quit my job, and traveled from place to place with the spider habitat. My eyes gradually filled with all kinds of sights from the world. But they couldn't hold all my tears, they kept spilling over. Kevin Ryan once said mutual love should warrant sacrificial devotion. Didn't he? So I went searching for the jumping spider's miraculous magic to restore half of my life to him. With the remaining half, we'd weave our future together. After years of searching, I finally saw a star in my dream. The star fell and transformed into gemstone meadows that kept expanding, encircling ponds where more stars kept dropping. Each created tiny firework splashes upon the water. Cotton candy sheep grazed on jeweled grass, their fluffy bodies bumping clumsily into each other. Some got launched skyward by collisions, their floating wool transforming into clouds. Shorn sheep would rain back down, bouncing away across the fields. Newly formed clouds unleashed torrential rains that swelled into a raging river full of whirlpools. A bull floated precariously on the turbulent waters. You cried too many tears, Kevin said, rocking in the bull. They washed me back from the other side.